abusive, but nobody around Donald Trump is telling him the truth.
I know.
Nobody. And we'll go back to
It'd be nice if somebody tried.
We'll go back to the first day, and I won't reveal my sources, but the first day, somebody tweeted pictures of the crowd sizes before Spicer's first press conference.
Hostage video.
I picked up the phone, and I called somebody very high up at the White House, and I said, I just want you to know.
This is the dumbest thing.
That this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. And if on the president's first night in the Oval Office, you guys talk about crowd size, we are going to strip the bark off your tree for the next week. We're going to kill you.
No, I mean, that right there shows that he's unmatched.
Okay,
should have said no.
Let me finish.
Sorry.
Thank you. I'll just,
yes.
The stories will be a lot shorter.
Stop shaking your head.
Finish.
Sorry.
If you'll just let me finish, the stories will be a lot shorter.
Continue.
Thank you. And so they said, after it was over, I called up, I said, you just couldn't help yourself. You just couldn't help yourself. You all look like total idiots. Yeah. I added a word in there.
Frauds.
And he said, this person said, you should have seen how bad it was going to be. And after Sean finished his press conference that you're screaming at us about, he then went into the Oval Office and the president screamed at him for being too weak.
Oh.
And then screamed at him for wearing a light suit.
And that's when you say...
That's when you say... Mike, this job's just not for me.
So, but Joe, I mean, what you raise and what Steve just mentioned is, you know, who can go into the President of the United States, who can walk into the Oval and say, Mr. President, you're wrong. Even if you had a Jim Baker, walking into the office, you have to have someone who's receptive to hearing that kind of counsel. And I don't think it appears that the President of the United States isn't receptive.
You know, I don't know where the chicken or egg, but somebody has to actually give that kind of counsel. And if he's not receptive, great, leave. Sean Spicer leaving on day 2 would have said a lot and done a lot for this presidency. Would have been better than him staying there hanging on like a complete shill, lying. Mark Halperin, question I've been asking for the past 2 days, with a smile on my face, and I just want a yes or a no.
No, not a smile on your
Is Sean
face.
Spicer credible?
Not within the briefing room with a lot of the people who cover him every day. And, you know, the thing is, some people use the White House podium to just get through the day, not make news, not get any advantage. He has become such a voice and such a face of the administration. They're not winning most news cycles, and in part it's because that briefing daily is setting them back rather than getting them going forward.
You know, there's no reason why he had to do that with April Ryan. April asked the question, answer the question. Move on to the next person.
Temperament.
He takes a lot of simple questions and turns them into big fights. Now listen, he takes a lot of abuse day in and day out. But guess what? Read Marlon Fitzwater's book. Marlon Fitzwater said, you know, every day you go there. That's the press's job, whether it's George H.W. Bush or, you know, what about Carney? Carney was a loved guy. At Time Magazine, we loved him. We chatted on the show. He got behind that podium. It didn't take him long to be a total jerk.
If you look at what the job
you
is.
just get it every day. You get, you know, it is a tough, tough job.
It might be time to rethink the job itself. I mean, you have the virtual cream of the crop of network broadcasters, print people. They're sitting in the White House press room. You get no news out of there. You know, why not send, you know, some younger people, some interns over to just record what the press secretary says? I mean, you're not going to, they're not breaking any big stories in that White House press room. It's just not happening.